13 signs your aura is too powerful for most people to handle. Your energy introduces you before you even speak. This timeless truth reminds us that your aura, the unseen field of energy that surrounds you, often says more than words ever could. In this video, we'll explore 13 signs your aura is too powerful for most people to handle, as explained through the profound lens of Carl Jung's spiritual wisdom. If you've ever felt misunderstood, too intense, or like you don't quite fit in, this might finally explain why. Stay open, stay curious, and as you listen, ask yourself, which of these signs reflect your own energy? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know which one resonates most deeply with you. 1. Your presence arrives before you do. Your energy enters the room before you do. Before your lips form a single word, people can already feel you. Carl Jung once described this phenomenon as the psyche extending beyond the body, suggesting that your consciousness is not confined to your skin, but radiates outward like an invisible field of light. This field, your aura, announces you long before your voice is heard. When your inner world is aligned, when your mind and soul are in harmony, that frequency becomes unforgettable. People may not know why they notice you, but something in their subconscious recognizes the power of your vibration. It's not about how you look, what you wear, or how loud you speak. It's about the depth of your alignment. Those who have cultivated awareness through spirituality and spiritual awakening can sense it immediately. They feel the calm, the clarity, the authenticity in your presence. Others, who have yet to meet themselves on that deeper level, may feel discomfort, even intimidation, because your energy quietly mirrors the parts of themselves they haven't yet faced. Jung understood this deeply. When two souls meet, they exchange energy, and in that exchange, transformation begins. Your aura, therefore, becomes your first language. It speaks through silence, through eye contact, through the feeling you leave behind. You don't need to prove yourself, explain yourself, or seek validation, because your energy already tells the truth of who you are. It is the unspoken evidence of your spiritual growth. Every experience you've transcended, every shadow you've faced, every truth you've embraced, they all shape the resonance you carry. This is why some people feel at peace around you, as if your presence itself cleanses the space. You emit coherence, balance, and light, and your energy reorganizes what is chaotic simply by being. Your presence is more than physical. It's a transmission. It teaches without words and heals without touch. People remember you not for what you said, but for how you made them feel. Your aura lingers like the afterglow of sunlight, reminding others of something sacred within themselves. This is the invisible power of spiritual awakening. It refines your vibration until it speaks directly to the soul of the world. Jung believed that the soul's ultimate purpose is to become conscious of itself. And once that happens, the light of that awareness radiates through every interaction, every movement, every breath. So when people turn to look at you, pause to listen more deeply, or feel strangely affected by your silence, understand that it's not coincidence. Your energy has already entered the room, whispering truths their minds cannot yet comprehend. This is the mark of alignment, where presence becomes power, and power becomes peace. Your aura doesn't shout, it simply is. It moves with quiet certainty, carrying the signature of authenticity that only true spirituality can create. And as Jung would remind us, what is deeply real cannot be hidden. Its energy will always be felt before it is seen. Comment below, "My presence speaks before I do," if you're ready to embrace the power of your aura and step fully into your spiritual wisdom. 2. People feel expanded or threatened around you. When your aura is powerful, people can sense it immediately. It's not about what you say or do. Your very presence stirs the energy around you. Your vibration acts like a mirror, reflecting back the hidden layers within others, their desires, shadows, and suppressed emotions. Some people feel an inner expansion near you, as if your energy breathes new life into their spirit, awakening their creativity and courage. They feel inspired because your frequency resonates with truth and freedom. But others feel uneasy or even defensive because being around you exposes the parts of themselves they've long ignored. You awaken in them what they try to bury, the pain they deny, the truth they resist, the potential they're afraid to claim. Your presence doesn't allow illusions to stay hidden for long. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That's exactly what your energy does. It makes the unconscious visible. You bring light to the corners others keep in darkness, and that light can be both healing and uncomfortable. This is the essence of spirituality and spiritual development, to face truth without running from it. Your aura, in its strength, amplifies what is real. You don't need to speak much for others to feel it. Your vibration itself communicates authenticity and depth. For those ready to grow, your presence feels like liberation. For those not yet ready, it feels like confrontation. You were never meant to suppress your light to make others feel at ease. Your energy serves a higher purpose to awaken, to elevate, and to mirror truth. You embody both the teacher and the mirror, the light and the reflection. When people pull away from you or act strangely, remember that your energy might be showing them something they're not yet ready to see. Their reaction isn't rejection of you, it's resistance to themselves. In your field, masks fall and the soul speaks. To carry such power requires balance. Ground yourself often, protect your energy, and choose compassion over judgment. The more you master your vibration, the more stable your aura becomes, a calm but undeniable force of truth. Your spiritual development depends not on dimming your energy, but learning how to hold it with grace. Some will expand when they meet your light. Others will retreat into their shadows. Both responses are sacred because both are part of awakening. The key is to stay steady in your truth, radiating love without apology. Those aligned with your frequency will not only recognize your power, they will rise into it. 3. Animals, children, and nature instinctively trust you. Animals, children, and nature instinctively trust you because they feel the truth in your energy. They don't listen to your words, they read your vibration. When your aura is calm and coherent, it becomes a silent language that speaks louder than sound. It's the stillness in your presence, the softness in your eyes, and the groundedness in your being that draws them in. A dog rests its head on your lap without hesitation. A child laughs around you without reason, and even a wild bird might come closer than usual. These are not accidents. They are energetic acknowledgments. Your aura vibrates at a frequency of peace, and those who live by instinct recognize it instantly. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And when you live in alignment with that truth, your very energy becomes a mirror of authenticity. This kind of spiritual wisdom can't be faked because animals and children are attuned to purity. They sense harmony and chaos immediately. When they trust you, it's not because of what you do, it's because of who you are. You carry an inner stillness that doesn't demand attention, yet commands respect. People who haven't reached that level of balance might not understand it, but instinctive beings do. They see beyond form. They feel essence. That's why their response to you is often immediate. They sense safety, warmth, and spiritual coherence radiating from your field. Your aura operates like nature itself, powerful, yet gentle. When you walk into a forest with a peaceful heart, the forest welcomes you. The leaves rustle softly, the wind feels kind, and every sound seems to harmonize with your breath. That's how energy works. It mirrors what you carry inside. A powerful aura doesn't shout. It vibrates silently at a frequency that restores order to everything around it. This resonance is why intuitive beings gravitate toward you without explanation. You emanate the kind of energy that says, "You are safe here." And in a chaotic world, that frequency is sacred. Yet the same energy that brings peace to some can bring discomfort to others. Adults who carry hidden turmoil may feel uneasy in your presence because your light exposes what they've buried. Your calmness reflects their chaos. Your centeredness reminds them of their disconnection. But you are not here to shrink. You are here to embody balance. True spiritual power doesn't control, it harmonizes. It's not loud or forceful. It simply exists in truth. That's why it attracts what is real and repels what is false. When your aura has reached such coherence, you no longer absorb the energy of others. You transmute it. You've learned that silence can heal louder than words, and presence can teach deeper than advice. You've done that work. You've faced your shadows, integrated your pain, and now you radiate clarity. Animals, children, and nature sense that. They are drawn to your light, not because it's bright, but because it's real. And in that quiet authenticity, you embody the essence of spiritual awakening, a living reminder that energy never lies. Have you ever noticed how animals, children, or even nature itself responds to your presence? If you've experienced this kind of spiritual connection, share your story in the comments below so others can learn from your journey. And if you haven't paid attention to these signs yet, just comment, "I will observe," so we can explore this powerful aura together. 4. You intimidate without trying. You don't try to intimidate anyone. Your energy simply does it for you. There's something about your presence that disarms those who live behind masks. People sense the strength in your authenticity, and it makes them uncomfortable because it reveals their own pretense. You carry the quiet confidence of someone who has walked through the fires of transformation and come out purified, not bitter. That's the essence of spirituality. It refines your aura until every false vibration naturally falls away. When others are still bound to the illusions of status, appearance, and social approval, your spiritual awakening becomes a mirror they cannot ignore. Without uttering a word, your energy says, "I see you." It exposes what's hidden beneath layers of performance and forces those around you to confront their own shadows. Carl Jung once said, There is no coming to consciousness without pain, and your very existence reminds people of that truth. They feel seen in ways they never asked for, but secretly need. You challenge people's comfort zones simply by being real in a world obsessed with pretending. You don't need to speak loudly, because authenticity doesn't shout, it radiates. Your calm presence can make the superficial uneasy, because you hold a level of awareness that cannot be manipulated. It's not that you're cold or distant. You're simply sovereign. You've reached a state where you no longer seek validation or belong to any illusion. This self-contained energy confuses those who depend on external affirmation. They may perceive your silence as judgment or your distance as arrogance, when in reality, it's just peace, a peace they haven't met within themselves. Your aura carries spiritual wisdom that others can feel, but rarely understand. It's the frequency of someone who has accepted their darkness, embraced their flaws, and turned them into light. People sense that. They feel you operate from truth rather than ego, from clarity rather than chaos. To them, it's unnerving because they cannot hide behind charm or small talk. Your energy reads their intentions like an open book. It's the intuitive power that comes from inner healing, a presence so genuine it becomes magnetic. Yet that same magnetism often polarizes others. Those aligned with your frequency feel drawn to you, while those not ready for truth may pull away. You don't have to prove your power. Your energy already does. You've stepped into a level of consciousness where words lose their necessity. Your energy carries your message, your silence carries your boundaries, and your compassion carries your strength. That's the mark of a true spiritual awakening, not needing to convince anyone, just existing as a living embodiment of awareness. So when people withdraw, misunderstand you, or act defensively, know it's not your fault. You are merely reflecting their inner resistance to authenticity. Like a mirror, your aura reveals both the beauty and the fear within others. And as Jung taught, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your presence, therefore, becomes both a blessing and a catalyst, a silent teacher in a noisy world, reminding others that true power needs no armor, only truth. 5. You shift the energy of any space you enter. When you walk into a room, everything subtly changes. The air feels different. People instinctively sit up straighter. Conversations pause, and even those unaware of energy can sense that something has shifted. This isn't about control or intimidation, it's vibrational coherence. Your energy field carries harmony so strong and refined that the entire space adjusts to match your frequency. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That's exactly what your presence does. It transforms, elevates, and awakens. When your spiritual development reaches a certain depth, your aura becomes a living force of balance. You bring alignment into disordered spaces, calm into tension, and truth into illusion, often without speaking a word. People may not know what's happening, but they feel it is an unspoken shift that invites them to rise into awareness. Some will be magnetically drawn to you, feeling uplifted and safe in your presence. They sense peace in you and crave to understand its source. Others, however, might feel uncomfortable, restless, or even defensive, because your energy exposes what they've buried within themselves. Your aura reflects back the truth that many try to avoid. This can make your presence both healing and confronting. Yet your purpose is not to make others comfortable, it's to awaken them. True spirituality is not about pleasing, it's about purifying. And so, even in silence, your energy does the teaching. It reminds others of what authenticity feels like, what peace sounds like, and what it means to simply be. This is why you may sometimes feel misunderstood or distant, as if you're walking alone in a world that doesn't yet speak your language. But that's only because your vibration no longer belongs to the noise. It belongs to the stillness. Wherever you go, you realign the energy around you, restoring coherence to what has been fragmented. You do not force, you harmonize. You do not overpower, you stabilize. You carry the calm of spiritual wisdom that moves mountains without shouting. It's the quiet force of those who have learned to master their inner storms, those who have found clarity through surrender and strength through peace. Your aura is a living reminder that energy is contagious. When you walk into a chaotic space, you become the calm. When you stand among confusion, you become the center. This is the fruit of deep spiritual development. Your inner frequency becomes so balanced that the world adjusts itself around you. Protect that light. Nurture your energy with rest, solitude, and truth. Let your presence be your prayer, your silence your message, and your energy your language. Because when your soul reaches this level of coherence, you no longer need to speak to be understood. The universe feels you and responds in kind. Now, take a slow breath in, feel your energy settle, and notice how the room shifts when your aura expands. If this message resonates with you, comment below. I honor the power of my presence. And let your spirit affirm that truth. 6. Your intuition reads people effortlessly. Your intuition reads people effortlessly because your aura acts like a finely tuned antenna, quietly decoding what words cannot express. When you walk into a room, you feel the subtle changes in energy, the tension that lingers after conflict, the unease behind a smile, or the warmth of genuine presence. You sense discomfort, lies, and emotional truth before anyone opens their mouth. This is not overthinking or being too sensitive. It is your spirit reading the hidden language of energy. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You naturally see what others hide, and that awareness gives you both power and responsibility. Your energy field registers micro-expressions, tone shifts, and the smallest pauses in speech that reveal what a person's soul is truly saying. You can tell when someone's confidence is just a mask for fear, when laughter hides sadness, or when flattery carries the taste of manipulation. This spiritual wisdom allows you to move through life with an inner compass that points toward truth, guiding you to trust energy over appearances. Your aura does not just react, it translates. It mirrors back to you what resonates and what disturbs, teaching you discernment through every interaction. Jung believed that what irritates us and others often reveals what we have not yet faced within ourselves. And your gift allows you to use such moments as mirrors rather than judgments. When someone's vibration feels heavy, your intuition whispers that something is misaligned. When a situation feels light, you know harmony is near. Your sensitivity may sometimes feel like a burden, especially when surrounded by chaotic or dishonest people. But in truth, it is the sign of an awakened soul learning to navigate a world that often rewards numbness. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes, Jung reminded us. And through your constant inner awareness, you practice the art of waking up over and over again, seeing beneath the surface, behind the smile, and into the energy that speaks louder than words. Your aura is like a lighthouse. It doesn't chase storms, it simply shines. Those who are genuine will be drawn to your light, while those with hidden intentions may feel uneasy in your presence, because authenticity and deception cannot coexist in the same vibration. People often tell you, "I feel calm around you," or "I don't know why, but I can't lie to you." That is because your energy exposes the truth without effort. You read emotional signatures not to control others, but to stay aligned with honesty and peace. As you evolve, you learn to protect your energy, to breathe deeply instead of reacting, and to observe rather than absorb. You realize that your intuition is not here to prove anything. It is here to protect your purpose. When your intuition speaks, trust it. It may not always make logical sense, but it never lies. The more you honor this connection, the clearer your aura becomes, and the easier it is to sense alignment. Rumi once wrote, "The wound is the place where the light enters you, and it is through your own past pain that your sensitivity was born. You once ignored the signs, dismissed your feelings, or silenced your instincts to please others. But now, you listen. You no longer apologize for feeling too much, because you've realized that feeling deeply is how the soul sees. Your intuition is your higher self guiding you toward peace, away from chaos and into authenticity. When someone's energy feels off, you don't need to explain why. You simply trust what you sense and move accordingly. Because that is the mark of true spiritual wisdom, to see with both the eyes and the heart, to listen to the silence beneath words, and to live from the truth that Carl Jung taught, the truth that the most powerful light in the world is the awareness that cannot be deceived. 7. Small talk drains you. Small talk drains you because your soul no longer finds nourishment in what is shallow or insincere. You feel it immediately. The hollow tone, the forced laughter, the meaningless exchange that only touches the surface of human connection. To someone walking the path of spiritual awakening, this emptiness becomes unbearable. Your aura vibrates at a level that demands authenticity, honesty, and presence. And when you're surrounded by superficiality, your energy contracts. It's not that you dislike people. It's that your spirit refuses to waste its sacred energy on what lacks truth. As Carl Jung once said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And small talk, for someone who is awakened, often feels like the denial of that privilege. You begin to notice that even short, meaningless conversations can leave you emotionally tired, as if your soul has been feeding on dust. Your aura is finely tuned, sensitive to energy, and designed to thrive in depth on moments where words carry weight, where silence feels full instead of awkward, and where the heart speaks louder than the ego. Spirituality teaches that energy exchange is sacred. Everything you say, listen to, or engage in shapes your vibration. That is why shallow interactions can feel like energy leaks. Your aura, strong yet discerning, filters out what doesn't align with your truth, quietly saying, "I crave meaning, not noise." Over time, This energetic discernment becomes your compass. You might withdraw from crowds or avoid environments filled with chatter and distraction, not because you're antisocial, but because your soul has outgrown the need to belong to what feels false. The loneliness that follows isn't empty, it's meaningful. It's a sacred space where your consciousness expands and your inner world becomes louder than the external one. Jung called this individuation the process of becoming whole by embracing solitude and discovering the self beyond society's masks. In this quiet isolation, you learn the language of your own spirit, realizing that peace is found not in many voices, but in the authenticity of a few genuine ones. So when small talk feels draining, it's not a weakness, but a sign of energetic maturity. You are evolving beyond the superficial layers of connection, moving toward the depth your soul truly desires. Spiritual wisdom reminds you that the universe always mirrors your vibration. When your aura radiates truth, it naturally repels pretense and attracts souls who speak your language of honesty and depth. In this stage of spiritual awakening, silence becomes healing, solitude becomes strength, and authenticity becomes your highest form of love. If this resonates with you, declare it with confidence in the comments. My energy is sacred, and I protect it. 8. Others project their shadows onto you. When your aura carries an undeniable power, it becomes a mirror that reflects the hidden wounds, fears, and insecurities of others. Your authenticity is not just honesty, it's energetic truth, and that truth unsettles those who have built their identities on illusions. The moment you begin living from your higher self, your very presence begins to reveal what others have tried so hard to keep buried. You may notice people suddenly idolizing you, seeing in you all the strength, clarity, and freedom they wish they had. Others, however, will criticize or even avoid you because your spiritual clarity forces them to see their own chaos. This is not rejection, it is reflection. You activate their shadow, and they don't know how to face it. People often project their inner pain onto you, not because you've harmed them, but because your light exposes the darkness they are not yet ready to heal. Your calmness reminds them of their restlessness. Your confidence exposes their doubts. Your ability to live with purpose and integrity unsettles those still chained to fear and pretense. In spirituality, this phenomenon is known as shadow projection, and it becomes more visible as your spiritual development deepens. When your energy vibrates at a higher frequency, it begins to illuminate whatever is unhealed around you. You don't have to say a word. Your presence alone becomes a mirror of truth, and that truth can feel unbearable for those not yet aligned with it. They may withdraw, gossip, or attempt to bring you down, but these are simply defense mechanisms of the unconscious mind trying to protect itself from transformation. This is why people with powerful auras often walk alone for a while. Your energy is rare, and it demands authenticity from everyone around you. Those who are pretending can't stay long in your light because it exposes what's false. Yet, those who are ready to awaken will find comfort and inspiration in your vibration. They will feel safe, not because you hide your truth, but because you live it unapologetically. The more grounded you become in your spiritual awareness, the more clearly you will see that people's reactions to you are never truly about you. They are about their relationship with themselves. You are simply the mirror, So when you are misunderstood, don't shrink. When you are judged, don't take it personally. When others try to project their shadows onto you, remember that your job is not to absorb them, but to stay centered in your own truth. Your energy is both mirror and medicine. It reflects the truth and offers a chance for healing. But not everyone is ready for healing, and that's okay. Spiritual development is not about convincing others to see your light. It's about becoming so aligned with your soul that no amount of projection can disturb your peace. When someone criticizes you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself whether their words are truth or just the echo of their own wounds. If it's projection, let it pass through you, like wind through light. You are not responsible for how others respond to your authenticity. You are responsible only for maintaining your inner harmony and continuing to grow. The more you embody your spiritual truth, the more you will attract those who are willing to rise with you. Your aura will no longer just trigger transformation, it will invite it. And that is the quiet power of a soul that has mastered its light. 9. Your silence has power. Your silence has power, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that commands it effortlessly. You don't need to speak to hold space, because your energy already speaks louder than words ever could. When you walk into a room, people can feel something shift. They may not understand it, but they feel it. Your silence feels like presence, like calm certainty, like the quiet authority of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. It's confidence without performance, clarity without words, and many mistake it for mystery or even arrogance because they cannot define what they feel around you. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And your silence is proof that you've begun that journey. The journey of inner knowing and self-mastery that few dare to take. There is something magnetic about someone who doesn't rush to fill the air with words. Your silence mirrors back to people the noise they carry inside. It unsettles some, because stillness exposes what they're running from. Yet that same silence attracts those who are searching for depth, peace, and authenticity. You've learned that true spiritual wisdom doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't chase attention, it radiates truth. When you sit quietly, you are not empty, you are full of awareness. Your aura holds the weight of someone who has seen through illusion, who no longer seeks validation, but vibrates in alignment with truth. That kind of stillness is power, not because it dominates others, but because it frees you from the need to control them. Your energy creates space where others feel seen, but also exposed. Your silence is not passive, it's active awareness. It's listening without judgment, observing without reaction. It's the ability to remain centered even when others are lost in chaos. People sense that you know yourself, and that self-knowledge makes them question their own foundation. Carl Jung once wrote, "In all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order." You are that secret order, the calm center in a spinning world. Your silence carries the vibration of someone who has faced both shadow and light and made peace with both. You no longer fear being misunderstood because you understand yourself. In your quiet, there is healing. The way you look, the way you listen, the way you simply are, it all reminds people of the peace they've been searching for. You've realized that not every battle deserves your voice, and not every misunderstanding needs your defense. Light doesn't need to announce itself. It just shines. You embody that truth. Those who misread your stillness as detachment simply haven't learned to be alone with themselves yet. Your energy reveals what's hidden in others. Some will retreat, some will admire, but all will remember how they felt in your presence. Your silence is not absence. It's presence purified. It's the spiritual wisdom that Carl Jung spoke of when he described the process of individuation, the integration of self into wholeness. You carry within you the harmony of both strength and surrender, shadow and soul, noise and stillness. That balance is rare, and that's why your aura feels too powerful for most people to handle. It's not because you're too much. It's because you've become something they've forgotten exists. A human being fully alive, fully aware, and utterly at peace within their own silence. If you believe that your silence carries a rare kind of strength, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's step into this powerful energy together. 10. People confess deep truths to you unexpectedly. Your energy carries the warmth of truth, the kind that makes people feel safe enough to take off their masks and reveal the parts of themselves they've hidden for years. They don't even know why they're telling you things they've never said out loud before, but it's because your aura holds them gently, without judgment or interruption. You hold space without trying, creating a silent sanctuary where emotions can breathe and pain can finally speak. In spirituality, this is what happens when a soul has traveled through its own darkness and learned to sit in stillness instead of fear. Carl Jung once said, "Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people." And you embody that wisdom not through words, but through presence. Your aura radiates understanding, the kind that doesn't demand explanations. When others are near you, their defenses slowly dissolve, as if your calm energy whispers, "You're safe here." You don't have to fix anyone or fill the silence. Your energy itself becomes medicine. People sense that you won't use their pain against them, and so their hearts open naturally. They speak because your presence allows them to feel seen without being analyzed, heard without being judged. This ability doesn't come from empathy alone, but from deep transformation, from walking through emotional fire and returning purified. You have turned your wounds into wisdom, your scars into light, and now that light calls out to those still wandering in the dark. When you hold space for someone, you don't absorb their pain, you witness it. Your energy creates a gentle mirror where they can see their truth reflected clearly for the first time. This is the silent grace of spiritual awakening, the moment when compassion replaces control and love becomes an energy rather than an action. Your aura has learned to speak the language of stillness, a vibration that says more than any advice ever could. You understand that healing doesn't always come from doing. Sometimes it comes from being. Your spirituality has taught you that presence is prayer, that listening is an act of love, and that silence, when offered with an open heart, can be holy. That is why people confess their deepest truths to you unexpectedly. They sense the rare purity in your energy, an absence of ego, a softness that welcomes honesty. You do not crave their secrets. You simply create a space where secrets no longer need to hide. You have become a vessel of peace, a quiet reminder that even broken hearts can find refuge in understanding. This is not something you perform. It is who you are. Your spiritual wisdom has shaped you into someone who heals without trying, comforts without words, and transforms others simply by existing. And in a world where most people listen to respond, you are the one who listens to understand a soul whose light speaks directly to the hearts of others. 11. Your freedom irritates those still pretending. Your freedom unsettles those still pretending, because the moment you stop performing for the world and start living in alignment with your truth, you become a mirror. Without saying a word, your presence asks others, "Why aren't you living your truth?" That quiet question echoes through their unconscious, exposing the tension between who they are and who they pretend to be. Authenticity, in its purest form, doesn't need to announce itself. It radiates. It's an energy that cannot be masked. And when your aura carries this kind of spiritual power, it disrupts every illusion built on fear and conformity. Many people hide behind roles, achievements, or masks of politeness, but your very existence challenges those facades. It's not your words that unsettle them, it's your being. You represent the freedom they secretly crave but are too afraid to claim. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." When you embody that truth, you vibrate on a frequency that no longer matches those trapped in pretense. Your energy becomes an unspoken invitation for others to awaken, yet it can also provoke resistance. Those still ruled by ego interpret your independence as arrogance, your peace as indifference, your boundaries as rejection. They cannot comprehend that your detachment is not coldness, it's self-mastery. In the path of spirituality and spiritual development, you learn that freedom is not about rebellion. It's about remembering. You no longer need validation to exist because your worth is anchored in something eternal. That silent confidence is powerful, and power, especially pure, inner power, disturbs those still dependent on external approval. Your presence reveals the gap between authenticity and illusion. It's as if your aura holds up a mirror, forcing others to face the masks they wear. You don't need to speak to make an impact. Your calm energy speaks louder than any words. That's why people project their insecurities onto you. They sense your wholeness, and it exposes their fragmentation. But do not mistake their discomfort for your failure. It's a reflection of your growth. Every time you choose peace over attention, truth over fitting in, or solitude over shallow validation, you rise higher in your spiritual awakening. The deeper you go into your own spiritual development, the more you realize that your light is both a comfort and a challenge to the world. You are not here to blend in. You are here to remind others that freedom is possible. Let your authenticity disturb the false, inspire the lost, and awaken the sleeping. Your energy, unshaken and real, becomes a silent revolution. And though many may misunderstand your light, remember, only those ready for truth will recognize it. 12. You leave a lasting impact after you leave. Your aura carries an energy that speaks louder than words. It's the silent resonance of your soul that lingers long after you've gone. When you leave, your presence doesn't vanish. It echoes through the minds and hearts of those you've touched. People may not always understand why they keep thinking about you, but what they feel is real. It's the vibration of your authenticity, your calm power, and your rare depth that leaves a lasting mark. As Carl Jung once said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. Your energy brings people closer to that awakening. They feel seen, exposed, and moved in ways they can't quite explain. You don't just enter people's lives, you awaken something inside them. And when you walk away, the memory of your presence becomes a quiet teacher, reminding them of truth, vulnerability, and growth. You impact people not by trying to impress them, but by simply being real in a world full of masks. Your aura carries spiritual wisdom, an invisible strength that demands honesty and reflection from everyone around you. When you speak, others don't just hear your words, they feel the frequency of your sincerity. It's that energy that makes people feel safe and unsettled at the same time. Some are drawn closer to you because your light feels like home. Others pull away because it exposes what they've tried to hide. As Jung explained, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your presence acts as that mirror, showing people their own shadows, their wounds, and their potential for transformation. You remind them, sometimes painfully, of what it means to be authentic, to feel deeply, and to live consciously. Your aura's power isn't about dominance, it's about depth. You carry a vibration that can't be faked, and that's why your absence feels like silence after music. People don't just remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel, how your energy softened their chaos or stirred something dormant within them. They replay your words, your laughter, even your silence, searching for meaning in the residue you left behind. You are unforgettable not because of grand gestures, but because your soul leaves fingerprints on everything it touches. You exist as a reminder that presence itself can be sacred, that the simplest interaction can shift energy, and that even brief connections can awaken sleeping parts of the spirit. So when people think of you long after you've gone, it's not coincidence, it's energy. You've woven yourself into the unseen web of their awareness, and in that invisible space, transformation continues. Your spiritual wisdom flows through them like light through glass, refracting truth, reflection, and remembrance. You are not just remembered, you are felt. And that is the true power of an awakened aura, an energy that doesn't fade, but evolves, guiding others long after the physical moment has passed. If this truth speaks to your soul, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss insights that elevate your journey. And in the comments, declare boldly, "My presence leaves a lasting impact wherever I go." 13. Your aura was built through inner work and pain. Your aura is not something that appeared overnight. It is a sacred energy forged through pain, growth, and relentless self-honesty. Every layer of your light was built from the ashes of what once tried to destroy you. You didn't wake up powerful. You became powerful because you faced your darkness and refused to turn away. As Carl Jung once said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. And that is exactly what your journey reflects. You went deep into the places that most people avoid, and in those silent confrontations with your own shadow, you learned the art of transmutation, turning suffering into wisdom and wounds into strength. Your aura carries that story, not through words, but through presence. It radiates the frequency of someone who has walked through fire and chosen not to let the flames consume them. When people feel your energy, what they sense is not just brightness, it is depth. Your light is not naive, it has known the night. It does not sparkle for attention. It glows with truth. You have been through silent battles that no one applauded, moments where the world didn't see you rising, but your soul did. That's why your aura feels different. It holds integrity, resilience, and peace. You've learned that spirituality is not about escaping the world, but mastering yourself within it. Through every fall and rebirth, you discovered that real strength is gentle, real confidence is quiet, and real light doesn't need to announce itself. It simply exists. People are often intimidated by your aura because it reflects back the parts of themselves they haven't yet faced. Your presence stirs something within them, a mirror that reveals their own avoidance, their own unhealed pain. It's not that your energy is too much, it's that it's too real. Most people are used to masks, not truth. But your spiritual awakening has stripped you bare, and that authenticity becomes a beacon in a world built on illusion. You no longer chase connection. You attract it through alignment. You no longer seek approval. You stand in self-acceptance. That is the silent magnetism of an awakened soul, the kind of energy that cannot be faked because it has been earned. Your aura holds the vibration of freedom, the quiet knowing that you have already survived your own shadows. Each scar on your soul has become a sacred reminder of the battles you have transcended. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't fade because it was never built on appearance. It was built on truth. And while others may try to understand how you shine without effort, you know it's not effort at all, it's embodiment. It's the result of inner work, forgiveness, patience, and the willingness to sit with your pain until it no longer controls you. That is the essence of spirituality, not perfection, but presence. Not light without shadow, but light that has learned to coexist with it. So your aura shines not because it was practiced, but because it was lived. You have become a reflection of spiritual wisdom itself, a living example of how facing the darkness doesn't extinguish your light. It refines it. And every time you choose truth over comfort, peace over chaos, and authenticity over imitation, your energy grows stronger, calmer, and more magnetic. That is what people feel when they are near you. The quiet power of someone who has walked through their own night and emerged radiant, not because they avoided the dark, but because they made peace with it. When your aura is powerful, it isn't about being intimidating. It's about carrying depth, clarity, and a level of spiritual wisdom that not everyone is prepared to understand. The signs we explored today are not flaws. They're reminders that your inner light is strong, your presence is meaningful, and your spiritual awakening is shaping you into someone who naturally shifts the energy of every room you walk into. If these truths resonated with you, remember that your path is rare for a reason. Protect it, honor it, and continue growing into the person you are meant to become. If you found value in this message, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss any of our upcoming videos on Carl Jung, energy, and spiritual transformation.